getting in the car and walking the lot, and then reviewing the site plans and the lot listing with them before we write. And if there's something that is super critical, making sure maybe we highlight it, have it sign it, whatever the case may be. But it's your job as sales reps to make sure they understand what they're purchasing, right? I can't tell you, and I know people say, well, we went over it, and then the customer has a different recollection of it. But just make sure that you are doing that on every contract. I mean, things like easements, right-of-ways, sewer locations, recently had fire hydrants, having the Dominion boxes, not being able to put a fence up because they've got a gas easement in their backyard. Like, these are things that just continually come up. And I think part of it is asking the questions, Mr. Johnson, what were you planning to do with that backyard? Well, Mr. Johnson, you just told me that you're planning to put a pool back there and have a fence. I need to tell you that you've got a natural gas easement that cuts your yard off by 10 feet. Are you aware of that? Do you understand the impact to you? No, I can't do that. Okay, we got to look at another lot. Like, you guys have to really look at the site plans, and you can't sell from a sales plat. Does that make sense? So, if we have a very young team, if you want to schedule some time with your production force, with the production managers, with the seniors, if I'm out there, I'll be happy to show you guys what to look at. Your sales managers can have you too. But this is all about expectation setting up front versus reactive later down the road. And I can't tell you how many times we get these communities after we're sold out, and we see some of the stuff like that we're dealing with. It's all about setting the right expectation up front.
Yeah. And the only thing to add, guys, it's just keep in mind that a lot of these things are done by humans, thus possible for human error, which is part of all of us. I make mistakes daily. Trust but verify. Noel, I see your face. Nice haircut, looking sharp, buddy. As we're training, it's a good exercise to Aaron's point. Like, look at the lot listing, but also one thing that we've learned recently is a lot of times a lot listing has been set up for a community maybe 3 years ago, right? And things may have changed. And a foot here or there does make a big difference. And it takes you guys an extra 3 to 5 minutes. Not that you're questioning whoever did the lot listing, but it's also part of your due diligence. Because 9 out of 10, it could have been something that you could have identified before you made them fall in love with that lot. And then you got to go back and change them, transfer them. It's going to, the ripple effect is crazy. So I would just say everything that Aaron reiterated, but also take that extra minute for you and the customer to just measure it, confirm it. And if you have any questions, just ask, and we'll figure it out and get you the right answer.
I know sometimes we want to say yes to keep the sale moving. But if somebody's like, is my backyard going to look like that lot? And if we're not 100% certain, don't say it is. Because we might not know what their goals are for their backyard a year and a half, 2 years down the road. And that's sometimes what we see is their expectations, what they can do with their backyard, what they can do with their front yard, whatever. And what we presented are completely different. So stop the press, ask questions, use your resources. Just don't assume. That's where you really get in a lot of trouble. Does that make sense, guys?
Sorry, I feel like it would be a little bit of a dead horse, but I have one more thing on this. If you guys have I think that there's an opportunity to use this also to close sales. You guys have 2 identical home sites, but one has a fire hydrant in front of it, and you know your customer, grandma's going to be visiting 5 days a week. Grandma might have one less place to park if the fire hydrant is right by the driveway. So just be thinking about those things to persuade them to go to a different home site. Or if you know they're super cheap and their homeowner's insurance can be saved like $5 a month if they have the fire hydrant in front of the home site. Just be thinking about these little things to also have one lot look a little more attractive given what they told you during the 4-2. No 2 lots are completely identical, and the site plan will show exactly where the easements and the storm water drains and the fire hydrants and all of that. Good to proceed?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I've seen new faces, so one last thing, I'm sorry. With downtime, no, I'll just use you as a training exercise. If you guys have time, get back out there on the lots, walk them, like, do the USPs. We get so busy, we all run in circles, etc. But, no, we'll add that this week. We'll get out and look at some lots, because I think when you look at something on paper, on the plat, etc., you may miss something great or something that you're like, oh, crud, this is not a 20K lot premium, or something is up. So anyway, just for Kat, John, Anna, Sean, even the rest of the team, you guys have all done this for a while, but you know, if you have a little bit of downtime and you need to just get out of the model, grab the plat, go drive around, walk a couple of lots, and you might find something that will strike a chord and be like, you know what, I need to call the Johnsons because they were asking about something like this. Now that I'm on this lot, I need to get them back out here.
Okay. Check. We have COVID signage update by staff.